Hey guys, I wanted to join you with a quick live video. I checked with Melanie and she was completely okay if I share it here. I was sitting in my space in my salon where I do my meditations and some of my services here in downtown Canandaigua, New York, upstate New York. And I was doing a little meditation and I wanted to pull a couple of cards for inspiration after my meditation, and I felt really drawn to share them with a group. So I checked with Melanie, she said go ahead. So I wanted to go live and share them with you for a minute. Let me move this because I feel like I've got like serious light behind me, but whatever. I'm Karen Slack. I am new to the group. For those that do not know me, I am a Reiki level 3 practitioner, inner light practitioner, intuitive and meditation guide. I have a passion for meditation and sharing. I feel like meditation is a great way for us to connect with our intuition and that quiet voice that inspires our soul, and to connect with our own personal light and celebrate ourselves. So with that, meditation has brought me to a place. Low network connection, it tells me. Let me see if I can go this way then. So it tells me that it's recording because I've got low network connection. So if you're watching this, there we go. Now my connection's available. Apparently I had low connection, so I moved it to a window. So anyway, meditation has brought me to a place where I've been able to connect with my intuition, and I found it a great support for my intuitive gifts. So when I was sitting in meditation today, after blessing my space with some Palo Santo and freaking out the people next door thinking there was something on fire, I sat down for meditation, and I love to meditate to some Indian flute meditation music off of Spotify, and it's just peaceful and relaxing, and it was great. So I pulled a couple cards afterwards. I was going to flip them over, and before I flipped them over, I kind of felt inspired to share them within the group. So I apologize. I have already pulled the cards because it was kind of an impromptu. I want to share this with these people. So thank you for taking a few moments to check out this video and to stop by. Leave a comment below as to how these cards find you and these energies and inspirations find you, and let me know. I think this is a great opportunity of this group to support each other and to have a great environment where we can inspire and support each other and fuel our positive energy. The world is inundated with crazy energies these days, and it's not very positive all the time. So having a group like this, thank you very much, Melanie, for creating it. We can support each other and share positive inspirations. So I have two cards that I've chosen today. One is from the color card deck by, I think it's Ina Siegel. I have used this deck forever. This is one of my first decks that helped me connect with my intuition, and I use the deck as a tool to help me communicate my intuitive insights. And I've always connected with it well. I feel like each color has its own inspiration and its own energy, and I feel like I've connected to those colors in certain ways, and they created a kind of a symbolic dictionary with these colors. And the second one is from the Rebecca Campbell deck, the Work Your Light deck. Somebody had commented in the group yesterday, I think it was, that they were reading the book Rise, Sister Rise, which I'm in the middle of reading, and I love. She came out with a light oracle deck, and I've been working with that deck lately, and I love it. So I figured I would pull a deck card from there. And I lost my connection again. Oh, okay, now the connection's back. Crappy connection in this building. So maybe it's that ball of protection light I put around everything that's keeping the internet out. So the first color is Burgundy, and it's Awaken Your Passion. I'll try to post a picture if I remember on the wall too, so that you can see these cards front facing instead of backwards facing like they are in the video. So I love the Burgundy color because I feel like it always inspires. It takes the passions of life and grounds them into our reality. And I feel like it kind of connects with part of the theme through my meditation, and the fact that I felt like inspired to share these cards with this group. And the idea of asking why, I automatically went to, I should share it in all these places. No, it was meant for this group. And I enjoyed the idea of sharing it in this group simply because for today it felt right. And it felt like that's where the passion of these cards and this energy was placed. So I guess I feel like this color inspires us to ask why. Why are we doing something? What is the passion behind what we're doing? Are we doing it simply because it's a job and it feels like it's something we should do? What is the passion that connects us to our tasks and to our situations and to the things we're offering to the world? Are we, the things that we are creating within our life are kind of a root chakra color here, dealing with our life stuff, dealing with our careers, dealing with our homes, dealing with our, our tribal energy, those within our life, our family and friends and all that. When we're dealing with that, asking ourselves, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I'm passionate about it and because it fuels a passion within my heart and soul to share my light or to share my goods or to share my services or to help increase the energy or leave the world at a better place? Or is it something I'm simply doing because it feels like I'm supposed to, because it feels like a job, because it feels like it's just a necessity? Or because it's simply familiar. I keep losing my connection. Is it something that I'm doing because it feels like it's fueling a passion for me or a passion in my life? Or am I doing it because it's familiar or it feels right? And I feel like as we ask ourselves those questions, I feel like that invites us to connect with the passions within our life and to connect with the pathways that lead to exciting those passions and awakening those passions in our life. Because I feel like a lot of what we're experiencing these days energetically is different and encouraging us to explore new ways of experiencing the energy within our life differently than we have in the past. The ways that we awakened our passion in the past, whether it's passion for job, passion for family, passion for relationships, passion for creative energy, whatever it is, the ways we awakened our passion in the past and we connected with that passion and expressed that passion within our life are different now. Life is shifting and changing. And I feel like this card encourages us, this color, when we surround ourselves with the Burgundy energy, it encourages us to take a minute and think about, why are we doing this? Are my passions really in this? And maybe as you awaken those passions, colors like this, burgundy colors and this kind of energy inspires us to go ahead and follow your passions and lead down the paths that feel like they're awakening your passions, and not kind of maybe lean towards the awakening of the passion and away from, I'm doing this simply because it's always been that way, or I'm doing this because I feel like it's going to get me here. Maybe just follow the passion. Even if you don't know where it's going and what the end result's going to be, it feels good. It makes me excited. Let's follow that instead. So I feel like this color card encourages us to keep moving with that and to awaken our passions and to move forward with those passions and to lean into them a little bit more. They might not always make sense. We may not always know why or how, or we may not know also. Trying to talk faster than my tongue can go. We may not always know the whys and hows or the details of where it's taking us. Sometimes we're not meant to. Sometimes we're not meant to have the plan, the steps 1 through 12 of a situation, because we're not at a point that we can see the higher perspective that's offered by following our passions. We're not at a point where we can say, you know what, this is a possibility. If we see and have to know and feel every detail of the situation before we embark down the path, then it's going to leave us limited. Because on that path and on that journey, we're going to learn new things. We're going to move into new ideas and we're going to explore new situations. And in those situations and those new things are going to help us grow and expand our awareness. It's going to help us connect to a higher understanding that we couldn't before. So don't limit yourself by needing to do what we're supposed to do. Expand your horizon by allowing your passions to be awakened a little bit in your life. Even if it's a small detail, like, you know what, I'm really passionate that I want to get out and walk every day. Or I'm really passionate that yoga is something that's going to really fuel this in my life. Or I'm really passionate and really enjoying the idea of getting up and having coffee for 5 minutes before the rest of the house gets up and goes crazy. Whatever it is, big or small, allow yourself to welcome those passions into the world just a little bit more. Okay. So the next card is from the Rebecca Campbell deck. I love the pictures and the inspirations. There's lots of different themes in the deck I'm noticing. There's some thought-provoking questions, some inspirational sayings, and just some simple ideas. So the one today says, share your voice. Come out of your cave. Allow yourself expression and allow yourself, so share your voice, come out of your cave. Persecution, you can't see the words. Anyway, persecution and expression. The idea is, for some reason, the word persecution, I could not wrap my head around. So apparently that's not the theme of the card. More of the theme of the card, and what I'm leaning to and feeling most passionate about in this card, is the idea of coming out of our cave and the idea of expressing what works for us within our life and expressing that which we love. Expressing that which we do, expressing that what we're passionate about, and to step away from what pulls us down and just simply express, you know what, I love this. I love that this is happening. I love that you're doing this. I love that we were able to make this happen. Whatever it is, expressing and coming out of your cave. Instead of just holding these things in your mind and holding these things in your heart, express that gratitude, express that passion into your life, and things will start. It's almost like the impression or the image that I'm getting, honestly, is that, like, as you express these passions and you express your gratitude into life, it's like there's this beautiful light that explodes out of you, and your gratitudes and your passions that you express in your life just explode into this beautiful glittery light that just happens around you. And it's almost like it's like it sprinkles all this light and love around you into your life. And the more you do it, the more you decorate your space with this love and this gratitude and this passion. And sometimes it takes work. I guess maybe that's the persecution part of the card. Sometimes it takes work to focus on these passions. Sometimes it takes work to focus on the gratitudes. Sometimes you have to be a warrior for the positivity in your life. You have to be a warrior for what makes you feel passionate and makes you feel love and makes you feel gratitude within your life. Because we're inundated with stuff that is just heavy and negative and just drains our energy, especially as energy workers, and especially as those that are influenced by emotion a little bit easier. We just get so drained so quickly. And sometimes we need to be warriors for that passion. We need to be warriors for that gratitude. And we need to be warriors for that positivity within our life to help us shift our focus. Not so much for everybody out in the world. This feels very much like a self-care thing. Yes, it will have effects out in your life, and things will shift and move in your life, but let's not do it because it's going to shift things within our life or because it's going to help somebody else. Let's do it because it's going to help us, because it's going to shift our perspective. Hi, Melanie, thanks for joining. Let's shift it. Let's express these gratitudes, express this passion, express what's positive in our life, simply because it's going to shift our awareness and allow our awareness to shift from this crazy heaviness that we're experiencing. So I really think that these two cards work well together, and I love that I looked at this card and the persecution part was like, I couldn't come up with a word. I couldn't read the word. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I'm even getting the wrong word even now with it. But I feel like the persecution We are our own worst judge. We are our own worst enemy, and we expect ourselves to be perfect all the time. And we're like, well, I can't feel this, or I can't do this because this is negative and this is heavy and I'm supposed to be this and I'm supposed to be that. Express what you're passionate about. Connect with what you're passionate about. Express your gratitudes and the positives to yourself and for yourself. And I feel like that'll just automatically shift us on our path and start shifting our focus to what works for us most. Sometimes when you're that warrior for the positive and you're that warrior for what you're passionate about, and you're that warrior for that gratitude, sometimes it requires setting heavy boundaries. Sometimes it requires saying, you know what? This doesn't work for me anymore. And I think that's where that warrior and that fighting for it comes into play, because I feel like sometimes it takes work to shift away from what always has worked in the past. Okay, so this is comfortable. This is familiar. This is what I've always done. I'm going to stick with this. Be patient with yourself. Allow yourself to continue to focus on what's positive and what's passionate and what you're grateful for, even if it's not connected to what you feel you have to change. We're whole beings. Everything's connected. But be patient with yourself. It's not a race. It's not a shotgun, let's get to the end of the race suddenly now. It's a journey. It's a process. And it's okay if we're not at the finish line yet. We don't want to be at the finish line. The beauty of our story is in the process. We don't want to be at the finish line yet. And I don't feel like there ever is a finish line. I feel like even those that have moved on and have passed on to kind of passed on to the other side, I feel like even that is not a finish line. I feel like they still have work. They still have a process. They still are learning and growing. And part of that requires self-forgiveness and refocusing. So I hope that makes sense. Thank you for joining, whether you're either joining on the live or you're joining on the recording. I know that my live delayed a little bit at times, and it told me it was recording as opposed to coming live, so I hope there's not glitches in it. I'm going to have to rewatch it later to check it out. But I really felt passionate to share these cards with you, and figured I'd go with it because that's what felt right for today. So yeah, thank you very much. And of course, as always, playback is perfect. I love Facebook for that reason. Melanie was telling me that many will see it on the playback since it's only 5 there. I love that Facebook offers the playback because I feel like that's just such a good thing. Because not everybody is in the same time zone. Not everybody's able to connect and do it at the same time. So you can come visit at a later date. So yes, you're very welcome. Thank you, Melanie, for allowing me this opportunity to do it. My little disclaimer, any of the unique meditation, any of my tips, tricks, or ideas or readings that we do that are related to my unique meditation services in this group, other groups, other videos, what have you, are all meant for spiritual entertainment and enlightenment purposes only. Please know that if you have any physical or mental health concerns, to seek a physical or mental health professional. Celebrate yourself as a whole, enjoy your unique, beautiful light, and connect with where you're passionate and what feels positive, and express your gratitude in life. Very cool. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening, and if you're just joining in at the end, check it out in a minute and the recording should be uploaded. Thank you very much.